Hey there folks, today I'd like to take a casual peek into the Brothers in Arms Sgt. Matt Baker action figure by Plan B Toys. This figure set was a bonus figure that came included with the limited edition of Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway game that I believe came out around 2008 or 2009. I can't remember. It was delayed so many times. It's fuzzy now. But I got this figure set in 2010 at a Best Buy for $19.99. Now, taking a look at the package here, you can see this is the package to the PC version of the game, which I had forgotten that I had until I got it out of storage. And it's a I don't know if it's a Best Buy exclusive. It has a Best Buy sticker here, and it does say $39.99, but it did ring up $19.99 when I paid for it. And I'm a fan of the Brothers in Arms games. The very first one that came out, Road to Hill 30. I can't even remember when that came out. And I really enjoyed the game because it was not your typical World War II shooter. And it was a World War II shooter in a sense, but that had squad level type tactics, which made it stand out amongst the other World War II shooters out there. And it's a really great game. I even had the sequel, Earned in Blood, which improves the AI on there, and I eventually purchased Hell's Highway here. This was the third release that was delayed a few times, and I heard is not as good as the first two games, but I don't know if that's the reason why I never really opened it. I didn't try it out, but I found it in storage and forgot that this limited edition of Brothers in Arms contains an action figure, which is Sgt. Matt Baker. And it's a 6-inch action figure that comes with 13 accessories, so that's kind of neat. And I don't know if that's a computer rendition of Matt Baker or the actual figure itself. It's hard to tell in this picture here. But we'll find out once we get this guy out of the package. And we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and we have the contents of the limited edition of Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway out of the package. And kind of surprised to find that the Matt Baker figure is actually in a package, within a package, so it's kind of neat. And since we have everything out here, we'll go ahead and go over the contents of the computer game here. It's kind of interesting. First up, we have here a comic from Dynamite Entertainment of Brothers in Arms. I believe this is the entire first issue. Just going over some of this comic here, and it's actually interesting. They have 2 other issues at least, and I may go out looking for this. I did not know that this series came out through Dynamite. I don't know if Dynamite is still active or not. This is copyrighted 2008 on there, but very cool on there. I don't know how much of it is factual. Well, I did forget to mention that the characters in the Brothers in Arms game are I guess loosely based on the real folks from the 101st Airborne during the Normandy landing and up through Hell's Highway, which is the Operation Market Garden on there. And also included is a map of Eindhoven here, and their journey to at least the Rhine River. And this is of course, if you haven't seen it, there was a movie in I believe it's the 70s or early 80s, A Bridge Too Far, which was based on Operation Market Garden, which was at the time the largest airborne operation in World War II. And of course, if you followed any of the history, the Allies did not make it across the Rhine River. There's a lot of complications with the operation that made it a failure. But both the movie Bridge Too Far and of course Hell's Highway is based off of this particular operation, and it comes with this map, which is kind of neat. On there you can see Eindhoven here and their journey. Looks like they got here on day 6 to Hell's Highway, and probably as far as they went on there. But kind of cool that they included this nice map. And also, of course, the game itself. And this is still shrink wrapped, came shrink wrapped in the package. And this Best Buy sticker here says that a mini strategy guide is included. It wasn't in the package that over here, so I'm assuming it's inside here. I'll find out once I bust this guy open. But those are some of the contents, and here's the Matt Baker figure in the package, and it has quite a few accessories, some of it bagged within the packaging here, and it's actually a nice figure. And here's the back of this packaging of Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this particular figure is made by Plan B Toys, and I did some interweb searching. I did find Plan B Toys website, and I'll post the link down below, and found out that they made more figures from Brothers in Arms, not just Matt Baker, but Leggett, and who else did they? I can't remember who else was on there, but oh, Hartsock was one of them, and a few others. And not only did they make Brothers in Arms, but they made some World War II figures in the 6-inch scale. And I really do not want to open this particular figure set, because it's a very cool set. And they also had a Matt Baker figure on their website, and what I did is I ordered the entire set of 4 figures from the Brothers in Arms game. I think it was 4, including Matt Baker here. So I'm deciding to keep this guy sealed here. Well, it's not really sealed, it's kind of broken at the top here, or never glued down, but I'm going to keep this guy in the package and wait until I get the Matt Baker figure from the Brothers in Arms line of figures from Plan B Toys. And as soon as I get that figure, we'll do a review of that. And stay tuned right after, I guess, this short break. Okay, we're back, and we have here the Sergeant Matt Baker action figure that I ordered from Plan B Toys. I ordered this figure 3 weeks ago, and I would have received it last week, but due to a snafu on my part, I found out that my order had gone to a different location, and with the help of the fine folks at Plan B Toys and the person that received the package, I was able to, luckily enough, get my order delivered to me. Taking a look here at the figure here in the package, you can see Sergeant Matt Baker there. The plastic here is a little fuzzy here, so it doesn't look too clear in the packaging, but you can see the figure there. And he does come with a few accessories, which is kind of neat. You got some weapons, pouches, an entrenching tool, a knife, a holster, quite a bit of accessories on there. Taking a look here at the back of the package, you can see the other figures in the Brothers in Arms line. Of course, we have here Sergeant Matt Baker, and we have here Private Kevin Legs Leggett, and we have Staff Sergeant Greg Mac Hasse, and Corporal Joe Red Hartsock right here. Now, this particular figure is actually different than the original figure that I got of Matt Baker as part of the exclusive to the collector's edition of Brothers in Arms, and you can see right away the two figures are different. They're painted differently and has a few different accessories, so that's kind of neat to have two versions of Matt Baker here. And comparing the two, you could tell that this particular Matt Baker is from an earlier time during his, I guess, tour in World War II. And here, I believe this is during a D-Day operation. You can see a scar on his forehead. And the exclusive figure on here, I believe, was part of a market garden. And you can see he's got a left-over remnant of his scar on the forehead, and he's gained a new scar on his cheek on there. So you could tell that this particular figure represents Matt Baker, I don't know, weeks maybe after this particular figure. And you can see a different colored uniform and different accessories. And you can see that says parachute device here, or what they carry when they parachute into there. But we'll go ahead and be right back and have this particular Matt Baker action figure out of the package. Okay, we finally have Sergeant Matt Baker out of the package, and we'll go ahead and go over all of the accessories that come with this figure, and there's quite a few. First up, we have here a knife with a holster or a sheath for the knife on here, and the knife is simply sculpted there. It's got some detail here on the handle, and I guess a basic blade there, and there's the sheath there. You can see some detail in the sheath, and you got this string here, which I'm assuming you tie around the waist and around one of the legs, and I didn't want to go ahead and do that. The figure was already loaded with a lot of accessories, but taking a look at some of the other accessories that come with this figure, there are two grenades here that I have hanging off the strap for the gun holster on there. You just pull one of those out and you can see the detail on the grenade here. It's actually kind of neat. And we'll take a look at the rifle here, and it's detailed as well. It's got a simulated wood grain texture there. Pretty cool, and it does have a nice adjustable strap here. You can actually lengthen or shorten. It's actually kind of cool. And I like the sight on the rifle here. I don't know if you can see the detail in the split of this sight. It's pretty neat. And there's the other side of the rifle here. Very nice. Next, I'll take a look at the pistol here. You can see the pistol there. I don't know if that's a M911 is what they called, a Colt, maybe. I'm not too big on weaponry on there. That's kind of cool, and you can see the holster here, simulated leather on there. Pretty cool. And it's got a pouch here. Let me just take the helmet off. With a nice cloth-like, let me see if I can get this without getting it stuck here. Just get that off. You can see here a nice pouch there. Doesn't open, it's just sculpted pouch with a nice cloth strap there. Pretty cool. And you can see the backpack here, which is removable. And it does have a peg there. You can just peg into the back of the figure there. Pretty nice. And then you have a digging tool or entrenching tool here. That's also pegged into the back of the figure. And on the lower back there on a belt. And this is just a sculpted material there. It doesn't actually open. But it's still kind of neat. I got a nice handle here. It's a soft bendable rubber there. And that's about it other than the holster here. Let me just get this off the figure here and show you some of the detail on that. See the holster here for the pistol. Pretty neat. And we got the helmet here, which is nicely detailed as well. Very cool. It's got a chin strap here. It's got a tiny little peg that you can peg into there if you want to close it, but it doesn't stay on that that well. I don't think it was really designed to actually close on there. It's just a nice detail touch that they added on the helmet, and it does fit quite snug on the figure there. Pretty cool. Now taking a look at the Sergeant Matt Baker figure here, and it's actually quite neat. I'm pretty happy with it. Just a few minor issues here, but let's go over the figure here. You can see the head sculpt of Matt Baker there. He's got, looks like a recent scar on his forehead there. Must have occurred during the D-Day or the days following the D-Day operation. You can see the details in the uniform. You can see the airborne patch there. It's actually quite neat. The Screaming Eagle patch on there is very cool. And you can see I guess the elbow patch on the back here, and the knee pad there, or patch, and a sculpted pouch here. It's got some detail. It says here US. I can't read the bottom print here, but it has the US on top, which is very cool. And oh, I did forget to show you the I guess the ammunition pouches that are on along the belt on there, and those actually are removable. Let me see if I can get that one off here. At least one of them off of there. You can see some peg holes going around the belt. Pretty cool. You can see some of the sculpted details on the uniform. Some of the, I guess, straps here or harness on there. It's very cool. And the paint. It's got that nice olive green for the uniform. And boots as well. Some detail on the boots. Very cool. And, the sculpt on the uniform, you can see the folds for the cloth. It's very nice on there. Overall, a very detailed figure on here. Going over the articulation of this figure, and this figure was I'm not stuck per se, but very tight along all of the joints, and we'll go over all of the articulation points here. And the head here and the neck are one piece. It does go all the way around, and slightly side to side there, and doesn't really go up or down, unfortunately, on there. I think it's just on a swivel ball pin joint in there. The arms do go all the way around, and they do go out and in. The biceps swivel all the way around. Single joint at the elbow, and a swivel at the wrist. There is no torso articulation, but there is waist articulation, which is very tight. It can go all the way around here. The legs are on a hinged swivel joint, it looks like. Allows the leg to go up, down, very little to the back, and out to the side Unfortunately, there is no rotation of this leg whatsoever. The only other joints here are a single joint at the knee that bends about that far and back, and a hinged foot that allows the leg to go up and down. Would have been really nice to have a swivel joint right above the knee or below the knee, or even at the top of the boot, or even maybe at the cut at the thigh there, but unfortunately there isn't. So it kind of limits the posability of the figure on there. Not too much. You still have a variety of poses for this figure, especially with the outward movement of the leg there and forward movement, and the nice swivel cut at the bicep there. But very cool figure. I'm glad to have gotten the figure from Plan B Toys. And I did not really want to open the one that came with my game. It's just I think a pretty neat figure and a pretty special figure, not to want to open that figure and just go ahead and purchase this one here. But this is my casual peek into the Sgt. Matt Baker action figure from the Brothers in Arms line of action figures. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.